Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Pittsburgh Fringe Artist Spotlight Series. My name is Grant Knutson, and with my group, Minion Productions, I help artists learn about and plan their travel to fringe festivals all over North America. But this week, I am here to help you learn about the various performers that are in this year's Pittsburgh Virtual Fringe, including this group of folks right here. Could we go around and have you all introduce yourselves very quickly?
My name is Michael Siebold. I'm the writer and director of Caprices.
I'm Constance Cooper. I'm an actress and musician, and I had a tiny bit of music in one of the Caprices, and I acted a grandmother in another one.
Hi, I'm Noemi Sharog. I play Nina in the first Caprice, and I'm an actress and singer.
Hi there, my name is Lane Mcleod Jackson. I play first Spiritualist in See You in the New Year, another one of the Caprices.
That is great. Thank you, everybody. Now, we have multiple of you here, so you can do it together. You can just choose one of you, but I'm giving everybody a chance to give their elevator pitch of the show. For artists, we call this flyering the lines. It's what you would do if you had my attention, because I was waiting to see another show, and you have maybe 20 to 30 seconds, if you're really intriguing, to tell me what your show is about and why I would want to see it. So under those circumstances, what would you all tell me?
I think as a first note, it's an anthology of short stories that are thematically interrelated, but they each feature their own characters in very different scenarios. And I'd say they're in the spirit of maybe Edgar Allan Poe, Ambrose Bierce, Borges, some very eerie, cerebral, sometimes otherworldly fiction.
That's great.
In the first piece, in the first piece, a young woman has to house it on New Year's Eve in a deserted town, and she hears voices under the ground or the basement of the house, and she goes down to see what's in there.
In the great range of these stories, it goes from no speech to people who must express themselves in beautiful language, as deep as language can be, so that you're going to find that in certain of these episodes, the plot cannot be expressed the way the first Caprice was, in complete silence. It has to take place in beautiful old language.
And I'd add to all of that, that along with that elevated touch and those surreal moments, it's filled with characters, all of whom you know. And it is filled with both the fears and hopes that I think every single person, when they're alone and they don't have anybody to judge them, imagine is going on behind them.
Nice. Great. Thank you. And that, one of the things I love for the description of this, because one of the things I love about fringe festivals in general is the great variety that you could see in a day by going to 4 or 5 different shows. And I love hearing you could get a lot of that variety here by going to one show, which is very cool. I know this isn't a brand new show. There is some history to this. When has the show been done before?
Well, it was actually a tumultuous history. It started in late 2020 with the theaters closing down. The result was pretty much to take the short scripts that I had on hand at that time, pick up a camera, assemble a troupe of actors, and go anywhere we could around New York State and shoot these, which were intended to be kind of small black box productions, but more or less as film pieces. And now, a year later, it's kind of assembled as an anthology, and it's a bit surreal, like Lane said, to see it complete on the other end.
Oh, that is great. Thank you. So many of us have had our lives upended over the last 2 years. I always love hearing how people have used that to continue moving instead of just being stopped until the world can awkwardly stumble back to its feet a bit. We were speaking about the variety in this show and the variety in the Fringe Festival overall. And we like to remind everybody it is a festival, so we want you to all catch as much as possible. In that spirit, could you all give me just a very quick idea of either a specific show in the festival that you were excited to catch, or if you haven't yet had a chance to look through everything, a type of show you always like to catch at this type of festival?
I'm very excited to see the pre-recorded live show with sketchy people, because it captures beautifully what we usually do in the entertainment business. We sell it as live, but record it before. Yeah,
that's great.
I really want to know what this puppet show is. I have a soft spot for puppets in all forms. So I'm curious what, I'm looking forward to seeing what that is. I never look anything up before I see it.
Good theory. I love it. Yes.
I like finding things that have odd titles, odd things that I've never thought of before. That I think is what I rely on. Fringe festivals for, short film festivals for, is a certain kind of bringing into consciousness that I would not have without.
That's great.
I think I'm with Lane on the puppet show.
Yeah. I got to interview Sean Meddy, who is doing the puppet show that I know of in there yesterday, and from the description of it, A, I am very excited, and B, like you all said, I still don't know what's going to happen. And I always think that's a great idea. Similar to this, now I am very intrigued by the descriptions you gave, but I still don't know what's going to happen, and that's wonderful. One last quick question before we end. How does everybody find you?
Well, yeah. You can see us on the Fringe page, or you can go to eveningcrane.com or follow us on Facebook, Evening Crane Theater.
If you look on Google, you'll find me, Constance Cooper. There's a website, and you can find me on Facebook.
That's great. Oh, hey.
I'm on all the big social media platforms. My name is Noemi Sharog, and that's my website as well. But you can also find me through Evening Crane Theater.
There are a series of private investigators who would charge a reasonable rate to track me down. But you can also find me on most of the social media platforms. My name is Lane Mcleod Jackson, which is an odd enough name that I'm usually the one you find.
Nice. And I love that you didn't specify whether they would have already found you and just be providing that information, or if they'd just be willing to do so. That is great.
I legally can't. Court documents, what are you going to do?
Everybody watching, just like our performers here, please check out all of the other shows you can. Please come back to check out Evening Crane Theater, and please check back on the Pittsburgh Fringe social media for the rest of our artist interviews. The festival happens April 8th to 10th, all online. We will see you back here soon. Thank you, everybody.